This edition of PewterPirates.com brought to you by House of Brews Tavern and Grill. More than beer, House of Brews gives you great food and always great fun. And speaking of food and fun, we'd like to thank our co-title sponsor, Sea Dog Brewing Company. Its Clearwater location and its Treasure Island Brewery by the beach boast the exclusive combo of giving its patrons a New England brewery complemented by a golf-inspired menu. Well, it's another rendition of PewterPirates.com, everybody. We'd like to thank our title sponsors, House of Brews and Sea Dog Brewing Company. Great food, great brews, great service. Well, the most monotonous part of training camp is finally history. Yeah, the grind is over. Time to play those preseason games. And we're going to preview the Bucs' first preseason tilt in South Florida. Here is our menu. We're going to check in on both sides of the football with some good one-on-ones. On defense, Noah Spence is healthy. He's put on 30 pounds, and he's learned a lot from the new veteran defensive lineman on this football team. We'll have his reaction. And on offense, Ryan Griffin is going to see a lot of time at quarterback. We're going to talk about his role on this football team. Plus, we'll bring in our Buccaneer insider, Roy Cummings, for his more likely segment. It's PewterPirates.com. We're previewing the Bucs' first preseason game. It's all next. Thanks for logging on to PewterPirates.com, everybody. I'm your host, Mike Nabors. As you see, the Bucs have left the practice field. They're heading to South Florida for their first preseason game against those Miami Dolphins. A lot of things to watch in this game, but of course the big point of emphasis this offseason and in this training camp is that revamped defensive line. Of course, you have Gerald McCoy, you have the new additions in Jason Pierre-Paul, Vinny Curry, and Bo Allen, but don't forget about Noah Spence. This camp, he's healthier and he's heavier and he's ready to contribute. I had a chance to go one-on-one with him recently about his role in this football team. Talk about this camp for you. I know you put on some weight. How do you compare this to past camps?
I feel a lot better. I don't know why, but I feel quicker. I guess it's because I put a lot of weight in my legs, and I just feel like it's a blessing to have these guys out here and everybody working together. We're getting a lot better.
What was the offseason like for you? I mean, you see the team pick up Jason Pierre-Paul, Bo Allen, Vinny Curry. I mean, I know it makes the D-line better. Has it made you better?
It actually has. I'm learning a lot from these older guys, and like I was saying, it was a blessing to have these guys come in and be able to teach and tutor us and stuff like that. And I never had anybody older than me that could tell me what not to do and what to do and what I was messing up on and what I need to clean up. There's a lot of stuff in my rushes in my game that I was thought was my best stuff that was really kind of bad. So it was good to it's good to be able to have those type of dudes that come around and talk to you about things.
All right, you put on some weight. I know you've talked about that at length this training camp, but what was the key to putting on, what was it, close to 30 pounds?
I think 28 to 30, yeah.
Round that off.
Yeah. I think the key was pretty much just having to eat all the time. I heard somebody tell me that they added up all my calories throughout the day, and it's 9,000.
Wow.
So I'm just constantly eating, drinking shakes.
Is there a go-to food that that helps you? Or?
I think pastas and hamburger helper, stuff like that.
Oh, hamburger helper, huh?
Yeah, it's a lot. Okay. It's a lot of carbs and calories and stuff like that. So I mean that's helped me a lot too.
Talk about this first preseason game coming up. I know it's a lot for the rookies and the guys trying to make this team. But what do you hope to get out of it?
I just hope to see what we got and just come out with a victory.
Noah Spence ready for a breakout season. He's going to have plenty of help on that defensive line. Well, when you look at the Bucs' first preseason game on offense, of course, we want to see from running back Ronald Jones, some of those young offensive linemen. But how about quarterback Ryan Griffin? Of course, Jameis Winston and Ryan Fitzpatrick will see some time. But Ryan Griffin, entering his 5th season in the NFL, still hasn't taken an official snap in a regular season game. But this preseason, he's going to get a lot of action. Of course, he should be the Bucs' backup in those first 3 preseason games. I had a chance to catch up with Griffin after practice as well on his thoughts on his role with the Bucs. First preseason game coming up. What are your expectations for this game?
I think it'll be great to get out there, especially work with some of the guys that we haven't really seen in the games. Expect to go out there and perform and execute.
The rotation for the quarterbacks, much has been made of that. Obviously, Jameis is getting reps. You're getting reps. Fitz is getting reps, and you're all getting them with different players. How has that been this camp? How has the rotation been?
Yeah, it's been great. Whatever reps you get, you got to make the best of them regardless. So, don't really know going in what reps you're going to get, but that kind of makes you better because you don't know what plays you're going to get. You can study what plays we got going in, so you just got to be prepared for everything.
Does it help that this team didn't go out and try to find that veteran backup given Jameis' suspension? They have a lot of faith in you that has to make you feel good.
It does, yeah. No, I appreciate it. It's a validation of all the work that I put in here, and they've really believed in me. Ever since I've been in here, they've believed in enhancing my talent and developing me as a quarterback.
Final question. Boy, you guys have a lot of weapons on offense. You're getting all kinds of reps with them this preseason. How has that helped you?
It's awesome. I mean, we got guys everywhere: tight end, receiver, running back. We got a lot of weapons. It's fun to get out there and work with those guys.
The man they call RG4 ready for a breakout preseason. He's going to definitely get his chances. Of course, we have these wrap-ups on pewterpirates.com, but this training camp, we have a lot more. We have one-on-ones. We have a rookie diary with Bucs second-round cornerback MJ Stewart, and a brand-new segment, if you haven't checked it out, called Got a Minute, a chance to really get to know these Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Well, coming up next in the show, we're going to bring in our Buccaneer insider, Roy Cummings, for his always informative, more likely segment. It's next. There are a lot of neighborhood bars, but there is only one.
House of Brews!
It's now better than ever, freshly remodeled with a new U-shaped bar, where it's clear everybody's having fun at the
House of Brews!
Armed with a full liquor and wine selection, House of Brews houses a large selection of brews. But come on, this place is more than brews. The food takes it to a whole different level. A fresh daily scratch menu serves up a wide variety of favorites, leaving customers always satisfied at the
House of Brews.
Not your average neighborhood bar. Oh, it's so much more. Welcome back to the show, everybody. It's a segment every Buccaneer fan looks forward to, more likely with our Buccaneer insider, Roy Cummings. Well, partner, the grind is officially over. Time for some preseason games. More likely, your first one. More likely, what do you want to see from the offense?
You know, I want to see a continuation, really, of what I've seen out here at these training camp workouts. Let's start with the running game. I want to see Peyton Barber running with the authority that I've seen him with, the power. I think he's taken off a little bit of weight. He says about maybe 8, 9, 10 pounds at the most, but he looks a lot more proportion. He's a different kind of runner. I think he's going to be solid this year. I want to see him continue to do what he's done here. Chris Godwin, in my opinion, has been one of the real stars of training camp. Yeah. I want to see him continue to play at that level. And I'm anxious to see what they do with the quarterbacks. Obviously, Jameis Winston, I think he's going to get the same number of reps he would have gotten if he was going to be the starter in week 1. But at the end of the day, I think he gets the same number of reps, but behind a different offensive line. That's what I'm interested in seeing.
Winston brings a different dynamic to this preseason, no doubt about it. More likely, number 2, Roy Cummings, preseason preview. What do you want to see more likely from this Bucs defense?
Well, let's start up front, because I want to see that defensive front get after it. They've been getting after it here in training camp. Yeah. They've been winning day in and day out, really. Sometimes it's 90-10 defense, sometimes 60-40, but the defense has been dominant. I want to see him continue to be dominant overall, but it starts up front. I want to see how that line looks, JPP in particular, Vinny Curry, some of those guys. And then I want to see the secondary. Obviously, look, they've got a lot more talent here. I want to see Vernon Hargreaves play at a high level. He's being pushed. I want to see how these young kids look. I think this defense has got an ability to really surprise some people. It really does. Nobody's talking much about it. There's a lot of concerns, but I think they can start to erase some of those concerns this week with some good defensive play from the secondary in particular. But that defensive line, that's where it starts.
So much to see on this revamped Buccaneer defense. More likely, number 3 with Roy Cummings. In terms of this preseason game, what is your Buccaneer wild card?
The wild card has been kind of the wild card for the Buccaneers for the last 2, 3, 4 years. It's the kicking game, man. Yeah. Look, Chris Catanzaro, here's the latest guy trying to make it work for the Buccaneers. This is a team that's lost games in the past couple of years because their kicking game hasn't been good enough. I want to see how this guy kicks. Hopefully he's going to be just fine. I think he will be. He's looked solid in training camp so far, so I think he's going to be all right. But that's one of my wild cards. The other one is, you know what? I've always said you don't really pay much attention to whether they win or lose in training camp. It's different this year, and it's different for me because I think this team has to start developing a culture of winning. And I think it starts here in training camp. I really think it's important for this team to win, even if it's the backups who pull it out at the end. It matters that this team starts to develop a culture of winning.
That's more likely with Roy Cummings. We'll wrap up pewterpirates.com training camp edition right after this. Now, you want a drinking and dining experience like no other in Tampa Bay? Well, Sea Dog Brewing Company is the place for you. Its Treasure Island location gives its patrons a beautiful waterfront view with 6 brand new boat slips and more to come. This Sea Dog location has a great selection with local brews, all made in Clearwater, and the specials. You have daily happy hour Monday through Friday from 2 to 6. Mug Club Monday features $6 mules. Taco Tuesdays are always popular, but don't pass up the $9.99 fish fry Thursdays. And on the weekends, enjoy a Sea Dog Brewery Sunday brunch by the beach. So check out Sea Dog Brewery at Treasure Island, 9610 Gulf Boulevard, Treasure Island, Florida, 727-954-7805. Well, that wraps up another edition of PewterPirates.com. Thanks for logging on, and please subscribe. It's free, folks. And you know, Roy Cummings and I, we have a lot of takes about this football team. We can't squeeze them all into these wrap-up shows. So listen in to our podcast we have twice a week called A Few Extra Bucks. Good stuff from Roy Cummings, good perspective. We also have interviews and our 3 and Out segment. We'd like to thank our title sponsors, House of Brews and Sea Dog Brewing Company. I'm Mike Nabors. We'll see you next time.